Trump's anxiety rises as Democratic strategist Carville predicts victory hinges on voter turnout. Will the electorate respond to the call? The current political climate in the United States is marked by significant polarization and heightened tensions between the two major parties. As the election approaches, issues such as economic recovery, healthcare, and social justice are at the forefront of public discourse. The Democratic Party, led by President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, faces challenges both within and outside its ranks. Progressive factions are pushing for more aggressive policies, while moderate voices caution against alienating centrist voters. Recent polling indicates that many Americans feel disillusioned with the political process, leading to concerns about voter turnout. This environment creates a unique opportunity for strategists like James Carville, who emphasize the importance of connecting with voters on fundamental issues. Carville's insights suggest that Democrats must focus on clear messaging and grassroots mobilization to counteract Republican narratives. As Trump continues to dominate headlines with provocative statements, Democrats are tasked with presenting a united front to reassure voters of their commitment to change and progress. In this landscape, Kamala Harris's role becomes increasingly critical. As the first female vice president and a prominent figure in the Democratic Party, she symbolizes a shift toward inclusivity and diversity, appealing to a broad range of voters who seek representation in leadership. As the election cycle heats up, several key players are shaping the political landscape. At the forefront is President Joe Biden, whose administration's policies on economic recovery and healthcare reform will be pivotal in determining voter sentiment. Biden's leadership style has been characterized by a focus on bipartisanship. However, his approval ratings have faced challenges due to inflation and economic concerns. Vice President Kamala Harris is another crucial figure in this election. Her role as a trailblazer for women and people of color resonates with many voters seeking progressive change. Harris has been actively involved in addressing issues such as reproductive rights and criminal justice reform, positioning herself as a champion for marginalized communities. On the Republican side, former President Donald Trump remains a dominant force. His ability to galvanize support among his base poses a significant challenge for Democrats. Trump's rhetoric often centers around themes of nationalism and economic protectionism, appealing to voters who feel left behind by globalization. Additionally, strategists like James Carville play an essential role behind the scenes. Carville's experience in crafting successful campaigns will be invaluable as he advises candidates on how to connect with voters effectively. The interplay between these key players will significantly influence the outcome of the upcoming election. James Carville's role in the Democratic strategy. James Carville is a prominent figure in American politics, known for his strategic acumen and colorful personality. Rising to fame as the lead strategist for Bill Clinton's successful presidential campaign, Carville has since become a trusted advisor and commentator within the Democratic Party. His approach combines data-driven analysis with an instinctive understanding of voter psychology. Carville's career has spanned multiple decades and various political landscapes. He has worked on campaigns not only in the US, but also internationally, bringing a wealth of experience to his role as a consultant. His nickname, the Ragin' Cajun, reflects his passionate style and Louisiana roots, making him a recognizable voice in political discourse. In recent years, Carville has focused on advising Democratic candidates on how to navigate complex electoral dynamics. He emphasizes the importance of clear messaging and grassroots engagement to mobilize voters effectively. Carville's insights into voter behavior are particularly relevant as Democrats seek to energize their base while appealing to undecided voters. His recent comments regarding Kamala Harris highlight his belief that she must carve out her identity, distinct from Biden's administration, while still supporting its core values. As an influential strategist, Carville's perspectives will undoubtedly shape Democratic strategies leading up to the election. His insights underscore the importance of swing states, where voter turnout will be crucial. Donald Trump's influence on the Republican campaign. Former President Donald Trump's recent statements have sparked considerable debate within political circles as he gears up for another potential run. Known for his provocative rhetoric, Trump continues to rally his base by focusing on themes such as immigration control, economic nationalism, and criticism of Democratic policies. His ability to dominate media narratives remains a critical aspect of his political strategy. Trump's comments often reflect a combative stance against perceived threats from Democrats and progressive movements. For instance, he frequently targets Vice President Kamala Harris and other prominent figures within the party, framing them as out of touch with American values. This strategy aims to solidify his support among conservative voters who feel disenfranchised by current policies. Moreover, Trump's reactions to polling data indicate an awareness of shifting voter sentiments. He often downplays unfavorable polls while amplifying those that show him gaining ground against Biden or Harris. This selective interpretation serves to energize his supporters while attempting to sow doubt among Democrats about their electoral prospects. As Trump continues to assert his influence over Republican politics, his statements will likely shape campaign strategies for both parties leading up to the election. Voter turnout, a crucial factor for Democrats. Voter turnout is one of the most critical factors influencing election outcomes in the United States. Historically, higher turnout rates have favored Democrats, making mobilizing voters essential for success in upcoming elections. Factors such as demographic shifts, economic conditions, and social issues play significant roles in determining turnout levels. In recent elections, there has been a concerted effort by both parties to engage specific voter demographics, particularly young people and minorities who traditionally have lower turnout rates. For Democrats, energizing these groups is vital as they represent a growing portion of the electorate that could swing elections if mobilized effectively. Kamala Harris's presence on the ticket adds an important dimension to this effort. As a woman of color and a progressive leader, she resonates with diverse voter bases seeking representation in government. Her advocacy for issues like voting rights reform aims to address barriers that prevent marginalized communities from participating fully in elections. Strategists like James Carville emphasize that successful campaigns must prioritize grassroots efforts focused on voter engagement strategies tailored to specific communities' needs. As we approach the election, understanding and enhancing voter turnout will be crucial for both parties aiming for electoral success. The role of swing states in the election. Swing states play a pivotal role in determining the outcome of U.S. presidential elections, often serving as battlegrounds where both parties invest significant resources. These states, such as Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, are characterized by their fluctuating voting patterns, making them critical for candidates seeking electoral victory. James Carville has underscored the importance of these regions in his predictions for the upcoming election, particularly regarding Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign. Carville notes that swing states tend to reflect broader national sentiments and can often sway based on local issues and candidate appeal. For Democrats, focusing on mobilizing voters in these areas is essential, especially among demographics that may feel disconnected from traditional party platforms. Harris's ability to resonate with diverse communities could be a game-changer in these states. Social media and grassroots movements. Mobilizing young voters. Social media has transformed the landscape of political engagement in recent years, serving as a powerful tool for both mobilization and communication. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram allow candidates to reach vast audiences instantly and engage directly with constituents. For Vice President Kamala Harris and her campaign team, leveraging social media effectively is paramount to energizing voters and disseminating key messages. Harris's presence on social media not only helps humanize her as a candidate, but also allows her to address pressing issues in real time. Engaging with younger voters through platforms they frequent is essential for increasing turnout among demographics that historically have lower participation rates. Social media campaigns can amplify grassroots movements and create viral moments that resonate with potential voters. Grassroots movements have become increasingly influential in shaping political landscapes across the United States. For Vice President Kamala Harris, aligning with grassroots movements can enhance her campaign's authenticity and broaden its appeal. Harris has consistently championed progressive causes that resonate with grassroots activists. Her advocacy for issues like criminal justice reform and reproductive rights aligns closely with the values of many grassroots organizations. The stakes are high. What this election means for American democracy. The 2024 election represents a pivotal moment for American democracy, with significant implications for critical issues such as healthcare, climate change, and social justice. For Vice President Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party, success hinges not only on voter turnout, but also on effectively addressing the concerns of diverse communities across the nation. This election could determine the direction of policies affecting millions of Americans, particularly marginalized groups who have historically faced barriers to representation. Harris's commitment to inclusivity positions her as a candidate who understands the stakes involved. Her leadership could usher in transformative changes that resonate with voters seeking progress. Moreover, the potential return of Donald Trump raises questions about democratic norms and governance. The outcome will significantly influence how America navigates challenges like economic inequality and international relations. As both parties ramp up their efforts to mobilize voters, it is crucial for citizens to recognize their power in shaping the future through their votes. This election is not just about winning seats, it's about defining values that will guide the nation for years to come. Engaging all voters, especially those who feel disenfranchised, will be essential for creating a more equitable society. The significance of swing states in American elections cannot be overstated. These battlegrounds are not just strategically targeted by candidates. They have become symbols of the diversity and division within the American electorate. States like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin have the power to sway national outcomes, often acting as a microcosm of the country's broader issues. The fluctuating voting patterns within these states reflect an electorate that is increasingly driven by local issues and candidate appeal. For Vice President Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party, winning over these critical regions requires a focused approach to address the unique needs of voters within each state. Issues such as economic stability, healthcare access, and educational reforms resonate deeply with these communities. Additionally, Harris's role as the first female vice president of color brings representation and inclusivity to the forefront of the campaign. Her ability to connect with a diverse voter base, particularly in states with rapidly changing demographics, could make a substantial difference in the outcome of these closely contested races. James Carville, a seasoned strategist with a deep understanding of political dynamics, underscores the significance of these states in his predictions. Carville's insights suggest that swing state voters respond favorably to messages that resonate on a personal level, particularly those that address economic security and job creation. Democrats must therefore tailor their messaging to appeal to local concerns while maintaining a clear stance on national issues. Carville believes that the Democrats' success hinges on their ability to connect with voters' everyday lives and address the challenges they face in these pivotal states. In the modern political landscape, social media is a tool of immense power, shaping narratives and facilitating direct communication between candidates and the public. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram allow politicians to bypass traditional media channels and engage directly with millions of Americans. For Vice President Kamala Harris and her campaign team, leveraging social media is essential to reach and energize voters, particularly the younger demographic who are more active on these platforms. Social media's impact is not solely in broadcasting messages, but also in creating a sense of connection between politicians and the public. Harris's presence on these platforms has helped humanize her image, allowing voters to see her as more than a figurehead within the Democratic Party. Her engagement on social issues, whether it's discussing healthcare reforms or environmental policies, resonates with younger voters who demand transparency and accountability from their leaders. For these individuals, social media offers an opportunity to engage with politicians in real time, making them feel included in the decision-making process. However, social media is a double-edged sword. While it can amplify messages and mobilize supporters, it also opens the door to misinformation and divisive rhetoric. As seen in past elections, false narratives and unverified information can quickly spread, influencing public opinion and shaping perceptions. For Harris's campaign, navigating this landscape requires a delicate balance of maintaining credibility while actively countering misinformation. Carville's experience with media and public relations suggests that the Democrats should take a proactive approach to address false narratives, using verified data and engaging content to communicate their stance effectively. Grassroots movements have gained remarkable influence in recent years, serving as a driving force for political and social change across the United States. These community-driven initiatives focus on mobilizing individuals around specific issues such as climate change, healthcare reform, and social justice. For Vice President Kamala Harris, aligning her campaign with these movements enhances her authenticity and broadens her appeal. Her advocacy for criminal justice reform and reproductive rights aligns closely with the values of many grassroots organizations, which can translate into substantial support from progressive activists. Grassroots movements not only provide a network of passionate supporters, but also offer valuable insights into voter sentiment at the community level. Engaging with these movements allows Harris and her team to tailor their messaging to address the concerns of specific communities. By focusing on localized issues and actively engaging with grassroots networks, Harris's campaign can tap into the enthusiasm of volunteers and activists who are eager to mobilize voters. Moreover, grassroots support has the potential to drive voter turnout, particularly among demographics that have traditionally faced barriers to participation. Carville's strategy emphasizes the importance of connecting with voters on a personal level, fostering a sense of community that transcends traditional political affiliations. By aligning with grassroots movements, the Democratic Party can harness this energy to create momentum leading up to Election Day, ultimately driving turnout and bolstering their chances of success. Thank you for tuning in. As we approach the upcoming election, the stakes couldn't be higher. With insights from James Carville and the palpable tension in the air, it's clear that voter turnout will be crucial. Make sure to stay informed and engaged. Your voice matters. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, let's keep the conversation going.